Very good afternoon to all. Today we will discuss about probability distribution. Then what are the design and normal tolerances in this probability concept. And then again, what is the normal curve? How to calculate the area, or what is the basic for calculating the area under normal curve. So we have discussed what is probability. Probability is the chance or likelihood that event or something that will happen. So in mathematical terms, this ranges, the probability p value ranges from 0 to 1. 0 indicate that the event will not occur, and 1 indicate that the event is will certain to occur. Definitely it will occur. And there are chances that we have discussed. Tossing a coin. So there may be head, there may be tail. So I will say the probability of getting head is 50%, 0.5. So this is the basics related to probability, and let us move distribution of probability or probability distribution. So this is an important concept of random variables in statistical consideration. We will take one example. In that example, 100 test specimens made up of gray cast iron FG300, which are tested on universal testing machine to find out the ultimate tensile strength. Okay, so we are having the ultimate tensile strength of 100 materials. The different values of ultimate tensile strength are noted in each test. There are a number of factors that vary from test to test. There are variations in size of the test specimen because of tolerance. See, so some light is thrown on some of the important aspects. So there are different values of UTS for each test, and number of factors that are varying from test to test, and again variation in size due to tolerance. See, though the test specimen is required to maintain manufacture as per the ASTM standard, still there are some tolerances given. So within the tolerance, if one will make manufacture plus, for example, let us assume that for just I am saying example 50 plus minus 0.1. So 50.95 is also accepted, and 49.5 is also accepted. So sorry, 49 point, I will say plus minus, so 50 plus minus, let us say 0.5. So in this case, 49.5 to 50.5, whatever is there, it is accepted. So one of the specimen may have the range, for example, 49.6 accepted, 50.45 accepted, 50.5 exactly on the tolerance boundary accepted. So these are the variations in the test specimen because of the tolerances provided. Again, the chemical composition of each specimen also varies, although within the limits. Though there is a limit, the carbon should be from 0.03 to 0.08. For example, I am giving, if it is a stainless steel material or any alloy steel material, let us assume that SS316LN, the stainless steel used in nuclear power application. So the carbon is 0.03 to 0.08. So 0.04 is accepted, 0.07 is also accepted. The testing on a universal testing machine is called as random experiment because the specimens are selected at random, and the values of UTS obtained in such reading are called as random variable. So whatever the 100 times the experimentation is performed, it is called as the random experiment. And this because the specimens are selected randomly, and the testing is carried out, and the values obtained ultimate tensile strength, these are called as random variables. Random variable is defined as a variable that takes different values in random experiments, that takes different values in random experiments. So dimensions of component, weight, strength, forces acting on the component, stress or properties, all are random variables. So let us take. Dimensions, random variable. Weight, then strength, what are different forces acting, what are the stress and its properties, all are random variables. In other words, random variable is a variable whose value depend upon the outcome of random experiment. Okay, now let us take example for understanding all the concept. Examples are very essential, and if we go through in thoroughly in the example, all the concepts will get clear. So let us conduct a experiment to explain the above concept. Consider a two-sided cube, and two cubes are considered here. So here it is shown in the figure taken in hand that two-sided cubes. We all are familiar with it. So 1 dot to 6 dot means 1 to 6 numbers are marked on the surfaces. Every time two cubes are tossed and the sum of number that will appear is noted as x. So very important, every time two cubes are tossed and whatever the, I will write for you, sum of numbers is written as x. For example, for one case it shows 3, for other case it shows 4. So 4 plus 3, 7 will be x. In other case 2 and 4, 6. So like that, each cube can display any number from 1 to 6. So cube 1, 1 to 6, cube 2, 1 to 6. It depends upon the outcome of tossing. Therefore, tossing the two cubes is a random experiment. Therefore, now what is mentioned here, tossing the two cubes is a random experiment, and we will discuss now what are the different output of this particular random experiment. The variable x, which is addition of two numbers, is a random variable. So now tossing the two cubes is a random experiment, and the variable x, which is addition of two numbers, is the random variable. So get it clear. Tossing, we will call it as random experiment, and whatever x we will get, it is the addition of two numbers that will appear after tossing. Outcome of result of that tossing, that for example 3 plus 4, 7, it will become x. So it is called as the random variable. Let us go in detail. So figure shows all possible outcomes. So if we will go for tossing, then there are different outcomes. So 1 to 6 first cube and 1 to 6 second cube. So 6 into 6, there are total 36 possible outcomes, and all outcomes are shown in the figure. If you see, there are total 36 possible outcomes, and this random variable x has a specific value for each possible outcome. The random x has a specific value for each possible outcome. For example, in the first event shown at first row, first column, the variable x is equal to 1 plus 1. So see, this combination is taken. Both the coins will show 1 and 1. So for this, your x will become 2. That x is 2, and again we have to check how many times this x is 2 out of these 36 likely outcomes. Okay. So this is the simple experiment, and we will now analyze the data, analyze this table. Let me give 2-3 more examples of this. So the two coins are tossed, and now first coin will show 1, second coin will show 1. So it will be 2. So your x, the addition of these two will be 2. Now the another example is shown here. First coin is showing 4, and first cube, and second cube is showing 2. So first cube 4, and second cube is showing 2. So this is okay. So it is highlighted. You can see here x will become 4 plus 2. So I can say in this case x will become 6. X will become 6. Okay, are there any other possibilities that x is becoming 6? So we can search in it. How many possibilities are there that will give you the outcome x is equal to 6. So I can highlight in this diagram that whose sum is 6 by looking to the diagram. So see here, this 5 plus 1, it will give you 6. 4 plus 2, it will give you 6. 3 plus 3, it will give you 6. 2 plus 4, it will give you 6. And 1 plus 5, it will give you 6. Sir, any other combination? No. So these are the different combinations. 5 combinations are there which will give you. So now we will move to next table. We will get x is equal to 2. First example. We will get here x is equal to 2 only one time. X is equal to 2 only one time. We will get x is equal to 6 5 times. So similar way, the probability of x is equal to 2 is 1 out of 36. The probability of, see here, the probability of x is equal to 2 is 1 out of 36. Therefore, the values of x of each remaining outcome. So, x is equal to 1, x is equal to 2, x is equal to 3, x is equal to 4, up to 6 plus 6, x is equal to 12. It is plotted. X is equal to 13? No, 0. So, first probability, x will not be equal to 1. X will not be equal to 1 because at we two cubes will show 1 plus 1, it will become 2. So this combination, number of events 0 and probability also 0, and x will not be equal as 6 plus 6 is 12. So maximum number 12. So 13 will also not appear. Therefore probability of 13 is 0 and number of events are 0 and probability is 0. Therefore the figure, whatever table is shown, the values will be from 2 to 12. Now let us analyze. When you will get x is equal to 2 only one time. Therefore probability is 1 by 36. When we will get x is equal to 6, I have given you the example. It is appearing 5 times, friends. We have highlighted in the diagram. It is appearing 5 times. Therefore the probability is 5 out of 36. So like that you can go for measuring and you will come to know that probability for 3, 2 by 36, probability 4, it is appearing 3 times, 3 by 36, probability 5, it is appearing 4 times. So accordingly probabilities are written. When the x is equal to 12, only one time, when there will be 6 plus 6, at that time only x is equal to 12. Therefore, when x is equal to 12, when both it will show 6 plus 6. So only one time. Again, the probability is 1 by 6. When x is equal to this 11, so 2 times. 5 plus 6 and 6 plus 5. So see, one experiment we have taken and we are going in deeper and deeper understanding. So this is 2 by 36. So these are the probabilities. And whatever the table, it is called as the probability distribution table. Okay, now if I want to plot it. So how can the probability distribution will be? So see here. Now if I want to plot it, see here, probability distribution. So 1, the value is 0, 13, the value is 0. 2, value is 1 by 36. On the left hand side, 1 by 36, 2 by 3 by 4 by 5 by and 6 by 36. Maximum values are there. So it is 1 by 36, 2 by 36, 3 by 36, 4 by 5 by 6 by. Again 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So see, if you can see this, like this diagram you will get, and you try to understand that the shape of the diagram which we have discussed yesterday, the shape is today, this forms the normal curve. Okay, so this example we have taken for better understanding of the concept that if two cubes are tossed, then what are the different combinations? So there will be 6 plus 6 sides are there. So 2 cubes are there. So 6 into 6, 36 different combinations will be there. And for understanding the 36 different combinations, the table is shown. And x is nothing but the sum of the number which will appear on these 2 cubes. So here x. So what will be the addition? How many times you will get the addition? Number of events and what is the probability? So it is mentioned here. So I have given you the idea. Number 2, it will appearing 1 time, probability 1 by 6. Number 6, it is appearing 5 times. The probability is 5 by 36. Number 11, appearing 2 times, probability is 2 by 36. Number 12, only one time. 6 plus 6, probability is 1 by 36. So this table is nothing but our probability distribution table. Okay, so list of possible values of a random variable and the corresponding probabilities are tabulated in a table, and that table we will call it as probability distribution table. So I have given you the idea. This is nothing but your what is shown here. This is nothing but your probability distribution table. So sometimes the designer is interested in finding out the probability that x is less than a particular value. Let us take example. The designer may be interested in finding out the probability that ultimate tensile strength is less than 300. So whatever 100 samples I will take, 1000 samples I will take, and I will get the different answer for ultimate tensile strength. Later, I will search for a value. Ultimate tensile strength is less than 300 because 300 is assumed as the ultimate tensile strength for calculating the dimensions of cast iron component. So just one example. So now whatever we have mentioned in our table, the probability that x is less than 4 is given by, for example, one example is taken. So we will take the same example here once again, and the probability that x is less than 4. So x is less than 4. So what will be the probability that x is less than 4? So I have highlighted here. The probability will be 0 plus 1 by 36 plus 2 by 36 plus 3 by 36. So total probability you will get here 0 plus 1 by 36 plus 2 by 36 plus 3 by 36. So just adding. So I will get the probability that x is less than or equal to 4. So what is the answer? This stands for the probability that x is less than or equal to 4 is 0 plus 1 by 36. So when the values from the where we have taken the values are from 0 plus 1 by 36 plus 2 by 36 plus 3 by 36, whatever the answer may be. So here you will get the answer 6 divided by 36. Okay, so this is probability distribution, and when the designer is interested in calculating the probability less than 3, less than 4, or less than a particular number, then the cumulative, that we can say the addition of this all probabilities up to that particular number will give you the answer. So this gives the rise to cumulative probability distribution. So cumulative, we know first in these tables all are mentioned separately: 1 by 36, 2 by 36, 3 by 36, 4 by 36 if you refer. Cumulative means just addition of all. So table shows the values calculated by the above method. The probability that x is less than xi, means we have taken example less than 4, is called the cumulative probability. So what we have done here, 0 plus 1 by 36 plus 2 by 36 plus 3 by 36, whatever answer, because we want up to 4 only. So this is nothing but the cumulative probability. So table, I will give here one name, that table 1, table 2, whatever is this table we are discussing. Let us say that this is table number 2 in today's session. So table 2 is the cumulative probability distribution table, and the distribution is shown in the figure. So see here, same, x is equal to 2 number of event 1 by 36. So up to this the chart is same, up to this line, see I am highlighting, up to this line the chart is same. So what is last this column added? This is nothing but the cumulative. So 1 by 36, okay. So this is x is equal to 2 up to this 1 by 36. X is equal to 3 or equal to 3 less than 3. So 1 by 36 plus 2 by 36, it will become 3 by 36. Just addition I am doing. So 3 plus 2 plus 1, x is less than or equal to 4, 6 by 36. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So you can take here x is less than or equal to 5. It is 10 by 36. If you proceed last, you will get 36 by 36. It is nothing but equal to 1. So this term is nothing but addition of this probability up to that certain number x. This called as the cumulative probability. And if we will plot against here 6 by 36, 12 by 36, 18 by 36, 24, 30 and 36 by 36, then you will get the value from 2. It is increasing and you will up to 12, it will become 36 by 36. So this is cumulative probability distribution. The table is called as cumulative probability distribution, and the diagrammatic or representation in graphical way, it is shown in this figure. So this is also cumulative probabilistic distribution. So we have discussed what is probability distribution, how it is taken, what are the events, and how we can go for calculating the probability up to a particular number. This we have discussed. Let us move to next term, normal curve. So if you refer the shape, if I join all these points, what shape you will get? If I join these points, what shape you will get? This curve. So the same curve is drawn here. Normal curve, very important concept. So in statistical analysis, the most popular probability distribution curve is the normal curve. So it is mentioned in the figure. It is normal curve. The distribution is called normal or Gaussian distribution. Whatever the distribution is called, the distribution is called as the normal distribution or Gaussian distribution. The equation of this normal curve in terms of standard variable z. So z is standard variable. F of z is given by, so 1 by under root 2 pi e raised to minus z square by 2. So this is the equation of this particular line, whatever shown. And this is nothing but the normal curve. So I will call this as normal curve, and the distribution is called as normal distribution. So if you refer 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, z is the variable, and it is increasing, a standard shape is there, and again decreasing. So the 45 and 99.73. So what is this? This is the area under the curve. So an important characteristics of the normal curve is the total area below the curve from minus infinity to plus infinity is 1 or unity. So total area is assumed as 1 or unity. So we can see here from minus z is equal to minus 1 to z is equal to plus 1. You will get the area as 68.27. From minus 2 to plus 2, 95.45, and minus 3 to plus 3, approximate all this area is covered, and 99.73. So this is the area under, or percentage of total area under the normal curve. So the area is covered from minus infinity to plus infinity, and the area from minus 1 to plus 1, minus 2 to plus 2, minus 3 to plus 3. The area is given. So you can see here, as from minus 1 to plus 1, the area is shown as 68.25 for this first combination or first thing. In minus 2 to plus 2, it is shown as 95.45, and minus 3 to plus 3, 99.76. Friend, this is theoretical. Now we will not get the z value. We will take one numerical, and you will come to know how to calculate the z or z1, and how to take the values. So it is not the case that we will always get the round figure 1, 2, 3 or minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. We will get the value in fraction, and if such a case is there, then how to calculate the area below this particular graph or this particular normal curve. So in many design problems, it is required to find out the area below the normal curve from z is equal to 0 to a particular value. That's I said that it is always not equal to 1 or 2 or 3. It may be 1.35, 1.65, 1.33. 1.53, 1.47, whatever may be the value of Z. We will discuss the formula also for calculating the Z value. But till for your understanding, what will be the value of Z? So the values are given in the table. This is the same normal curve is shown here. So you can call this as the normal curve. And this is the area below the normal curve. Now this is Z value assumed. Z value is equal to, we will assume something. And this is the shaded area shown. So this is area under this particular normal curve and it is given in the table. So let us assume any one value. I will say that Z is equal to 1.33. So how to refer the table? So I will say area under the normal curve, the table heading is given from 0 to Z and Z is, for example, 1.3. So 1.3 exactly. So our value is 1.33. So 1.30, this value, 1.31. So 0.1 is there. 1.32, this value, 1.33. I will take this value. So 1.3 and again further point is 3. So it is 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. You can take the value. So I will say here the value area under this particular curve when Z is equal to 1.33. So I will say for Z is equal to 1.33, you will get the area as 0.4082. Friends, you can write down this particular things. So what you will get, this is nothing but the area. So how to use the table, that again we will discuss in numerical, but till just now it is example. So it is not all the case that your values will be 1, 2, 3 for any normal curve. What is the Z value? How to calculate the Z? That also we will discuss what is the formula and how to calculate. We will take numerical also related to this. And now area below the normal curve, Z is equal to 1.33. And for 1.33, how to take the value, that I have given you the idea. So the same table is for this 3.9. So same table is given. Let us move toward the last topic, friends. So design and natural tolerances. The variations in the dimensions of a component occur due to two reasons. First is because of large number of chance causes, and second is assignable causes. So let us discuss about what is this particular chance causes and what is this assignable causes. So whenever there will be error in the dimensions, it is due to, first reason is the chance causes and second reason is the assignable causes. So the variations due to chance causes occur at random. These are characteristics of the manufacturing method and measurement technique. So the errors or variations due to the capability of the machine, due to the we can say measurement technique what we are using, due to area or limitation of that particular measurement technique. So whatever the variations which are arising due to the manufacturing method and measurement technique, this comes under the chance variation or chance causes. And the variations due to assignable causes can be located and corrected. So assignable causes, that we can locate it, that this is the cause, and we can correct it. And if the all assignable causes are corrected, then the system is said to be under statistical control. So assignable causes, if any assignable cause is there, it is identified, located and corrected, and further that cause will not happen once again. And whatever the all assignable causes are there, they are located and corrected, then the system is said to be under statistical control. Very important. Now in a statistical controlled system, the dimensions of component are normally distributed. So we have seen what we will call it as normal distribution. The diagram we have seen and the areas, etc., everything we have discussed. So The dimensions are normally distributed with a particular value of standard deviation. So there is a particular value, standard deviation generally denoted by sigma. So with a particular value of standard deviation. The natural tolerances are there, and the natural tolerance is defined as the actual capability of the process and can be considered as the limit within which all but a given allowable fraction of items will fall. In general, the natural tolerance of process is spread of the normal curve that include 99.73 of total population. So we have already discussed. Once again, I will take the review. So see, 99.73% plus 3 to minus 3. See, so this 99.73% population will fall under this natural tolerances. So try to understand the design tolerance and the natural tolerance. Referring to normal curve as shown in the figure just now I have shown, and the values of standard variables Z1 and Z2 corresponding to this population are minus 3 and plus 3. So let me take you once again. So if you refer this figure, then Z1 and Z2 values will be, or they are, this you take the value as plus 3, I am highlighting, and this is the minus 3 value. So 99.73 population will stand or will fall in this particular category. So minus 3 to plus 3. So x is equal to, we are having mu plus z sigma. X1 and x2, these two values will become then variable, x variable. So x1 and x2. So standard variables are z1 and z2. So what it will be? X1 and x2 are the limits. So I can say the upper limit and lower limit. So upper limit is calculated. X1 is calculated as mu. Mu is the mean plus 3 times sigma, standard deviation. And x2, the lower limit, is calculated at mu, mean, minus 3 times sigma. So these are the limits. I will, for your understanding, I will write here the upper limit and the lower limit. So upper and lower limits are there, and z sigma is there. Now for understanding, we have written here 3 sigma, but actually z sigma is there. So you can modify it as x1 is equal to mu plus z1 sigma, x2 is equal to mu plus z2 sigma. Here the natural tolerances are defined as 3 times sigma. The natural tolerances are defined as, you can refer, plus minus 3 times sigma. We will take one numerical, then we will come to know how these Z1 and Z2 are required to be calculated, and give this figure more concentration. The main formula is Z. So x is equal to mu plus Z into sigma. Mu plus Z into sigma, where x stands for the upper and lower limit, x1, x2, and Z1 stand and Z2 stands for the variables. Based on the relationship, some conclusions can be drawn. So when the design tolerance is less than plus minus 3 sigma, the percentage of rejected component is inevitable. Inevitable, certain, more value will be there. So the design tolerance is less than plus minus 3 sigma. The rejected components will be more certain. The design tolerance is equal to plus minus 3 sigma. This is virtually no rejection. Theoretic means imaginary concept, no rejection. That the manufacturing process is centered. For an off-center process, some components can be or maybe are rejected. If the design tolerance is slightly greater than plus minus 3 sigma, there is no rejection even if the manufacturing process is slightly off-center. So is less than plus minus 3 sigma, rejection will be there. Equal to plus minus 3 sigma, virtually there will be no rejection. But some components may be rejected in this case. And if it is greater than plus minus 3 sigma, the value, no rejection will be there. Therefore, it is necessary to designer to select the manufacturing process for a component in such a way that the natural tolerance of the process is slightly less than the design tolerance. Natural tolerance is slightly lesser than the design tolerance. The design tolerance should be about plus minus 4 sigma. The design tolerance definition here it is given. It is plus minus 4 times sigma. So design and natural tolerances. The design tolerance are specification limits set somewhat arbitrarily by the designer from consideration of the proper matching of two components and functioning of the assembly. So design tolerances are the specifications which are completely decided by the designer and by considering the proper matching of two components. The design tolerances can be achieved only when the manufacturing process is selected so that the natural tolerance are within the design tolerances. It depends upon the manufacturing process also. The percentage of rejected components depends upon the relationship between these two tolerances. Very simple, percentage of the rejected component will be depends upon the relationship between these two tolerances. Very important. So friends, this is about design tolerance. Once again, I will repeat. So this is your normal curve. You can see plus minus 3 sigma will be there. And this is the table. From the table, if you are having Z value, definitely you can write a particular, you can find out a particular area under the curve. And then we have discussed about what are the chance and assignable causes and what is the formula relation between x, upper lower limit. X is the limit, mu is the mean, z is the variable, and sigma is the standard deviation. So by using this formula, I can use x1 is equal to mu plus z1 sigma, x2 is equal to mu plus z2 sigma, and I will proceed. So let us have one example, one small example we can cover here. So it has been observed from a sample of 200 bearing bushes that internal diameters are normally distributed with the mean. So let us write down what is given. Very first, with a mean of, mean is given, so I will write down here mean comma mu is equal to 30.010 millimeters and standard deviation is given, sigma is equal to 0.008 mm. So standard deviation is also given here. Mean is given, standard deviation is given. The upper and lower limits of internal diameter are specified by designer. The upper and lower limits. So I can say x1 is equal to 30.02. For your understanding, you can write upper limit, and similarly you can write lower limit, x2 is equal to 30.00 millimeter. Calculate the percentage of rejected bushes. What is asked? Percentage of rejected bushes. So this we have to calculate. What is asked? This I have mentioned here, so you can refer from this. So this is required to be calculated, percentage of rejected bushes. So there are 3 steps. Again, very simple steps are there. So let us proceed this one by one. So step number 1, I will say standard variables Z1 and Z2. So I will say Z1 is equal to X minus mu divided by sigma, and it is applying Z1, therefore I will say X1. So I can say here 30.02 divided by 0.008. Tell me the value of Z1. Similarly, I can proceed for a Z2. Value of Z1 first. X1 minus mu divided by sigma. Value of Z1 you calculate and put the answer. 1.25. So I will write here 1.25. Z2 I will write here X2 minus mu. X2 minus mu divided by sigma. So I will write here 30.00 minus 30.010 divided by 0.008. So let me know the value for Z2 again. So Z2 value will be the value of Z2. Here we will get the minus. So minus 1.25 again. Z1 and Z2 are same. Okay, very nice. So assuming that you have covered up to this point, move to next step, step number 2, area below the normal curve. So I will write here step number 2, area below the normal curve from Z1 to Z2. So see here what are our values. This is the normal curve. I will say here 0. So one value is 1.25. Other value is minus 1.25. So if I will go just we are taking example and we are showing it. This is another case. Now this is minus 1.25 to plus 1.25. Now I want to calculate this particular area. I have highlighted. So now I will say here the area between z is equal to 0. So I will say area between z is equal to 0 to z is equal to 1.25 is equal to, let us go somewhat behind. So 1.25. So it will come here 1.25. So here this value I will highlight in this particular diagram only. So I am highlighting here 1.2 in the main diagram. This is for 1.2, 1.21, 1.22, 1.23, 1.24, and this is the value. I will write 0.3944 for Z is equal to 1.25. See, I have highlighted. Let us take the value and complete the numerical. So is equal to, I will say here, the area we have calculated. I will write in words again, no problem. So the area is 0. What value we have taken? 3944. So you can see 0.125 on plus side 3944 and again minus side area will be same. So the area between 0 to 1.25 is 3944. So total area becomes, or whatever I can say here, the shaded area. Shaded area is equal to 2 into 0.3944. So the area under curve will be 0. I can say 7888. This is the area below the normal curve. This I will call it as the area below normal curve. And now last step we can find the step number 3. Here we can see in step number 3 percentage of rejected bushes. So I will say here percentage of rejected bushes. So we can say here it is nothing but we are having area. So I can say here the percentage of rejected bushes is equal to 1 minus. So what is not covered in the area, it will be rejected. So 1 minus 0.7888. So you will get the percentage is equal to 21.12. So this is the percent it will get rejected. Okay, so in this